Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles the Banster, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we see them, and today we got a hilarious show for you guys that you definitely want to stick around for. Before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Also, we're trying to hit our goal of 200,000 subs by the end of this month. We really appreciate it if you guys helped us hit our goal, obviously, if you enjoy the content. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. As you guys know, we had a pretty big game in the NBA last night between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, where the Timberwolves shocked a lot of people, including myself, by essentially coming back and winning that game, right? And with their victory, they have now essentially guaranteed their place in the Western Conference Finals to face who? They're going to be going up against Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Mavericks. As you know, they just recently closed out their series, I believe, in 6 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So after the game, Kyrie Irving was speaking to ESPN, and I think he was speaking to Malika Andrews, and they were essentially asking, because I think he may have had 40 that game, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, they were asking him about, like, to just kind of express his feelings about the game that had just transpired. And what's interesting is that this particular clip was something that I saw on Instagram, and it was posted by NBA on ESPN, and it was posted 21 hours ago. It'll be over 20 to 24 hours by the time you guys see it. So basically, it's about Kyrie essentially saying that this series that he just played was the toughest he ever played in his NBA career. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, LeBron fans are definitely not going to like this. So those are the comments we want to get into. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, GameTime, who's the official sponsor of today's show. GameTime Tickets is an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets faster and easier than ever. For example, I am super excited about the games between the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves this week. With GameTime Tickets, I can easily pick the best tickets for me. I love that I can choose between different deals. I have the option to select the cheaper deal, the best option deal, or my favorite, the flash deal. The flash deal gives me the option to find discounts that I can only find on GameTime. Once I select the ticket I want, I can view my seat. And it's not just restricted to the NBA. I can also look for the best ticket deals for other sports like football, baseball, or concerts, or comedy or theater shows. Included in my purchase, I also have a 24-hour return guarantee, a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Kyrie Irving had to say to ESPN's Malika Andrews, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Kyrie Irving had to say here.
We're going to discuss this game, but first, I want to go back out to Dallas to bring in Kyrie Irving into the conversation. Hey, Kyrie, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us. We were just talking before you came on. You're a remarkable 14-0 in these closeout scenarios. That's the best mark without a loss in the NBA. What is it about these games that just brings out this from you?
I think it's just the preparation and it's the moment. You just get to that point where you have the opportunity to close out a team. You want to take full advantage of it. I'm doing my best not to be so emotional right now because it's just this was probably the hardest series that I've ever had to go into, and it felt like it, and all the pain and all the sacrifices were worth it. So when you get that vindication and you can close out a team, #1 team in the Western Conference, it feels good. But I wouldn't be here without all the great teammates I've had throughout my career, and big shout out to them. And this is just our moment, and I think it's time we enjoy it. So
you heard what Kyrie Irving had to say. So when they initially put the post on Instagram, I want to go to that post. So you saw what Kyrie, I'm doing my best not to be so emotional right now because it's probably the hardest series I've ever had to go into. So I want to get to some of the comments, because LeBron fans are very funny. Let's get into some of them here. One person said, what makes this the hardest what makes this the hardest series ever? Another person said, Cavs Kyrie was so OP. Another person said, laughing my ass off. This is not the hardest series you've ever been in. This might be one of the hardest series you've ever been to, but your hardest series was the 73-9 Warriors in 2007 versus the Golden State Warriors. Laughing my ass off, casual. Another person said, Kyrie, you forget about the 73-9 Warriors being down 3-1, laughing, but he was actually crying. And then some other people said Kyrie's better than Curry. And then some other people kept on saying that. But there were a bunch of basically LeBron fans who were pretty upset with Kyrie Irving for saying that, right? Now, why would LeBron fans be upset with Kyrie for saying that? The answer is very simple. Because one of the go-to arguments for LeBron fans, one of them is, he came back from a 73-9 team being down 3-1. So that was the most impressive thing that we had ever seen an NBA player do. So when you have a player like Kyrie, who was on that team, who was part of that run, who hit that very big shot, who was putting up 40-point games in that series, for him to come out and say, no, this Oklahoma City Thunder series was the hardest series he's ever been to, LeBron fans hear that and they're like, yo, what are you talking about? The series you played against the Warriors is the hardest series you've ever been a part of. And they're like, bro, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to diminish the legacy of the Kang and all? That's what they would feel. And I can understand them being upset because they're like, what you mean by that, right? Listen, Kyrie is speaking from his perspective, meaning what he feels is the toughest. Now, what do I think is the toughest? I would probably go with the one against the what do you call it? The Warriors. And the reason I would say that is because of the stakes. Right? It's because of the stakes. Now, some people are talking about 2017 being the hardest one ever because of how lopsided it looked. But here's something that a lot of people don't tell you. If you look at the big three for both teams, meaning the top guys, the top scorers, you had LeBron James, you had Kevin Love, you had Kyrie Irving versus Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. Do you know that the Cleveland Cavaliers big three actually outscored the Warriors big three throughout that series? Their big three, meaning they average more points than them. I think they average more rebounds than them as well. It's a shocking thing, but it's true. Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving actually average more points and I think rebounds than Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson. What happened was throughout that series was that KD and these guys were hitting some very timely shots in that series. That's actually what was happening. But I thought it was hilarious for Kyrie Irving to go out there and say that. So LeBron fans, let me know what y'all think about what your man Kyrie Irving had to say. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.